Hello and welcome to another Dragon Ball Super case analysis brought to you by Double Sleeve. Today we're going to be taking a dive into what an opening of a case looks like for Dragon Ball Super Trading Card Game Ultimate Squad. I've just gone through and opened 12 booster boxes from the same case. So I wanted to go through, have a look at some of the different rarities, what it looks like in terms of the foils, some of the things I noticed. There were a couple of variances and between individual boxes and a few interesting little facts that might vary a little bit from previous sets. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. So this is an empty booster box here, and have a quick look at the back of the one of the packets here. So we can have a look. There are 292 types of cards in total. Now that includes 60 common cards that are foil and non-foil, 38 uncommons that are foil and non-foil, 30 rares that are foil and non-foil, 18 super rares, 15 special rares, and 3 secret rares. So what does a case actually get you when you open a full case? Obviously, it's a big investment. You want to know that you're going to get a return on investment. Start off with the rares. So I have a stack here of all of the rares that came in the boxes that I got. Now you'll see, I'm going to go through these quickly because the rares are probably one of the least parts that you guys want to see. You'll see on average I got between about 7 to 8, easily getting a playset of rares. When you combine that with the foils, we'll have a look at that soon. You can see Pan there getting a few less. So we've got, how many Pan did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pan being the lower end. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Trunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Meta Rildo. So you get the general idea there. You can see as you go through all, I have OCD, so I've sorted everything in number order, and it's the same throughout all of the different colors. There's no real discrepancy there. It was fairly balanced overall, getting easily, like I said, a playset. Now, when you combine that with the fact that you also get a foil variant in almost every single pack, and I say almost, I'll go through that soon when I break down the actual booster boxes. So when you combine that with the foils, you will see, let's find a rare there. So we've got a rare there. So obviously getting a rare of that card adds to the card pool that I get. So we got 6 Pans. When you combine that with the fact that I also have 2 foils, so end up with 2 play sets. Again, I think I had 7 Trunks, but I also got 3 foil variants. Now with the foils, they range anywhere, at least in my case, from 1 to, I believe, 3 was the most. Sorry, 4. 4 was the most. Because as you can see there, I didn't see anything above 4 copies of the same card. When it came to infinite multiplication metacores, there will be some players that want those. I saw an average of 2 to 3 of each variant of those cards. Whether that's just luck, I'm not too sure. I'll go through some of the things that I did notice though. Really, actually, I'll touch on that a little bit later. Let's go through next to super rares. So super rares, obviously got a nice little stack there, not including the ones that you get as the box topper. So when you look at the box toppers, again, I've put these in orders. I noticed I got 3 special rares. So there's one, there's a second and a third. So I've got 3 special rares, and the rest of my box toppers were super rares. So I don't know if that's going to be the same in every single case. That's a little bit unknown because it's only one case. But I did notice, so we've got 3 copies of Baby. We've got 4 copies of Pan, 3 copies of GT. And when you combine this with the fact that you also get the box topper, it works out that I've essentially got almost a playset of every single card. So I've got 3 babies, but I also have another copy of Baby there. When we go through the special rares as well, that's obviously going to add to this card pool. 3 copies of the Android Unison. Interesting, only 2 copies of Commander Red. Now, that's the lowest number that I saw. I did happen to get a box topper. It does seem to be fairly random, the box toppers. So I still have 3 copies, but if I did want to play Red Ribbon Army, it's going to make it, I'll have to get one more. 4 copies of Cell. We have 4 copies of the 1-drop Freezer. There is a special rare variant of that too. Only 2 copies of the 3-drop Golden Freezer. 4 copies. Oh, sorry, I mixed it up. I have an extra copy. We've got 3 copies of Golden Freezer, 3 copies of Cooler, 4 copies of Vegeta, 3 copies of Gohan, 3 copies of Son Goku. We have 4 Mira. We have 4 copies of Toa, 3 copies of the 4-drop androids, only 2 copies of Cell, 4 copies of Piccolo, and 5 of probably the archetype I want to play the least is Metacooler. So just popping them to the side there. I'll sort those out later. When you combine that with the fact that I've got extra Android there, obviously special rare variants. If it wasn't for this, I would only have 2 copies of Commander Red. And I believe I've got a Cell. I don't have a Cell, so I've actually only got 2 copies of Cell Super Rare equivalent in this case. Now, having a look next at the special rares, because the special rares are obviously going to add to that card pool. I end up with 2 copies of the GT squad. Now, I did record a couple of box openings. They're going to be on the channel as well to see exactly what's in there. Those boxes, I did actually get some pulls I was really happy with. Be sure to go back through the channel and have a watch of those box openings. I've got 2 copies of the Android special rares, 1 copy of Cell, 1 copy of the Freezer, 2 copies of Cooler. Pretty happy with this one because I really do want to play Cooler at some point. 2 copies of the Amazing Gohan, 2 copies of Goku, 2 copies of Mira, 1 copy of Toa. Into probably the special rares I like the least, while they're nice, having fancy super combos. I much prefer that, the special rares were filled with cards that were super rares, that higher rarity, because I feel like this is a missed opportunity in a case where I've got 2 copies, technically, if you don't include the box topper, 2 copies of Commander Red. No chance of having that as a special rare equivalent, and if I didn't have the box topper, that's all I would have. I've got 1 copy of Goku, 2 copies of Vegeta, 1 copy of Beerus, 2 of the Android Super Combo, 2 copies of Kefla, and Cell, obviously making it. So that's the Super Combo, so it doesn't add to my super rare card pool. Overall, I can essentially build any deck. I'm not going to go through the commons and uncommons because that's something where you easily get from 2 boxes. You'll pretty much have your playsets done of commons and uncommons. It's not really challenging to get those. But when it comes to the rares and the super rares and special rares, essentially this adds up to I can pretty much play any deck by buying the case. In terms of secret rares, so the case I had 2 secret rares. I happened to get the 2 landscapes. So the first one I'll show you is Invaders of Vow. Very, very nice secret rare. I think the texturing is very underrated. I'm going to show this in a little bit more detail because you can't really tell from the photos that they put online. You can see the texturing is very nice with the gold foil. Came out much, much nicer than I was expecting it to in person. And the other one I got was Oath of Z. Probably in terms of collectability wise, this is one that I really wanted because I want to get it graded. I'm very lucky. I think this is actually going to grade very well. The copy that I've got, Invaders Vow, I'll probably end up playing with because I do want to play Cooler and I will slot into the deck nicely. But again, really nice texturing. Just the aura around Goku, the way that they've sort of done it with the gold foil and the aura came out really nice. So very clean. There's more dirt on the back. It's not actually on the card. I noticed a few print lines, but overall probably better than some of the other sets that I've seen in terms of print lines. To be honest, I didn't dive deep into really looking at that sort of quality because I was opening up a lot of product. I didn't want to waste too much time. One thing I did notice though is I worked out with all of the foils I have and the special rares, I did get at least one of everything. One was the lowest number I had of any foil, common, uncommon, or rare. And it worked out. I've essentially got, excluding pre-release, and obviously I'm missing one secret rare. I did get a master set from a case. So going through, there is nothing that I'm actually missing. If I wanted to put a master set together, I've been able to do it essentially with one case, excluding obviously the Gohan and Piccolo secret rare. That's obviously missing. Now, I do have a little bit more detail on individual box ratios, which I think it's really important to touch on as well. So I noticed in the God box that I got, in terms of ratios, well, let me touch on an average box first. So you know what an average box looks like. So an average box had 24 foil cards, 17 rares, 5 super rares, and 2 special rares. There was one odd box where it only had 22 foils, 19 rares. So it had a couple more rares than it did foils, obviously reversing those ratios. And then it had the standard 5 super rares and 2 special rares. So your base is 5 super rares, 2 special rares, and only one box had that oddity where it was 22 foils instead of 24 and 19 rares instead of 17. So flip the ratios a little bit there, which I'm not sure why it did that, but obviously it's something that happened. Now, touching on the God box, that contained 21 foils plus 9 from the God pack. So in total, getting 30 foils in that box. In terms of rares, it had 19 rares, so it had 2 additional rares also than your average box. The super rares, so this is where it's a little bit interesting. So the booster box that had the God pack in it only had 3 super rares. It didn't have the standard 5, only had 3, but then the God pack had an additional 3 super rares, making it 6 for the booster box in total. And it had 2 special rares, which is standard across all of the boxes. So in that booster box, you only actually gain 1 additional super rare. You don't gain that much, and it actually hurt the actual ratios of the booster box, which was really, really interesting. So the God pack contained 9 foils, 3 super rares in that pack. But yeah, just really interesting the fact that the number of super rares in that pack was lower as well. Now going on to the secret rare box, this was interesting as well. So had the standard 24 foils, 17 rares, had the 5 super rares and 2 special rares. And that's what's really interesting here. It had 2 special rares and the secret rare. So in fact, you actually had a lot of major hits in that box by having the normal 5 super rares, 2 special rares, and 1 secret rare, where the secret rare has in the past, I can't remember the last set how that was. It has taken a super rare slot and things like that. This has actually taken no slots at all, and you gain the additional secret rare. So really nice to know that even if you see a box open at locals and you counted it, to some people, players will map it and go, oh, it's had so many of special rares pulled, so many super rares. If someone has mapped, it's had 5 super rares pulled and 2 special rares pulled, they'll go, the box is dead. The box is not dead. It can still contain the secret rare, and this was evident in both of the booster boxes that I had with secret rares in there. So really interesting to note that. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the fact that I can build anything I really want to. In terms of quality, the special rares are very nice. I really like this GT Goku. The androids came out nice. Cell is really good. Like the actual quality is nice. Disappointing again. We've still got no texturing. It hasn't happened for a while now for DBS. I would love, absolutely love to see texturing come back, but I don't know if they'll do it anytime soon. This is probably the nicest special rare in the entire. When I was just talking about print lines, there we go. This one's got a nice horizontal one across there. I can see on the camera. Um, I don't think we'll be seeing texture soon. I'll love for them to at least bring it back on secret rares, and not just with gold foiling. I'd like to see actual texture like we used to get. Goku's not bad. The rest are fairly generic. Like I said, I'll prefer the super combos weren't. The androids do look nice, so I can't deny the androids do look nice, and the cell looks pretty good too. So overall, look, that's the basics of the case. I hope this information helps when making a purchase and giving you an idea of if you're out locals and you want to dive in and you're worried that there may not be a secret rare in the box. There's definitely still an opportunity. Let us know in the comment section what you think about Ultimate Squad. If you've seen any variances, because this is one case analysis. I do know in the past some cases have had, you know, one secret rare and others have had three secret rares. So mine felt like a more standard case, what you see in an average case. I was lucky enough to get a master set and be able to get play sets, or essentially enough play sets to play any deck that I want, because you don't always need 4 of every single super rare. I'm really happy overall that I'm going to be able to dive into pretty much any deck and leader I want, combined with obviously cards that I get from locals every single week too. So let us know what you think in the comment section below, and if you've noticed any variances from cases that you've seen open or booster boxes that you've seen open from the numbers that I've seen when I did mine, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content, and I'll see you on the next one.